Hey everybody, it's Mrs. Bowser. Just wanted to come on and say hi. And today is March 25th, and I decided to pop on here, say hi, and get today's lesson started. So let's get going, guys. Okay, guys, here are general announcements for today, which is March 25th. The governor and state superintendent has now closed schools through April 24th. We will get more guidance on what that means in terms of learning through online means and such. So I know I sent a message this morning through Remind. If you could let me know if YouTube and Google Docs and email and all that kind of stuff is a good way to get you guys some worksheets and some lessons, please let me know. If you need papers printed and sent to your house, that also might be an option. I'm not sure yet. So please respond to my Remind message so I can figure out how I'm going to best deliver my lessons for you guys. Again, I'm going to share all the different schools that have lunches that are provided from 11 until 1, and that it's not in the bulleted list, but Dr. Mudd, J.C. Parks, and Pickawaxen Middle School are now included in those sites. And again, you can get breakfast, lunch, and just see a smiling face. You just pull up to the front of the school, and they ask you how many kids are in your car, and then they will give you some meals. So it's pretty easy. Send me pictures and videos of maybe some things like your plants, anything that you'd like to share, like, if you've made some kind of craft thing at home, go ahead and share that with me, and I will share that with the group. If you have done chores, which hopefully you're helping your parents out at home, share with me what kind of chores you guys are doing. I will be sending a link to all parents that will be a Google Docs link, and in the Google Docs links it will have the worksheets that will go along with today's News to You lessons. Now usually this takes us about 3 or 4 days to get through, so just work at it on your own pace. You don't have to print it if you don't want to. It is easier for a lot of our students. And then please leave comments on my YouTube video down below, just so I know, that such and such has watched it. And if you would like to send me any suggestions, go ahead and do that through Remind or email or whatever venue you can. That is today's general announcements. Okay, guys. Nothing really new to show for the show and tell page. That's why I need you guys to send me pictures or even videos of things that you guys are doing at home or that you're proud of. And especially if your plants are doing well, go ahead and send me those pictures. But these are pictures that I sent yesterday or 2 days ago of Bobby and Jabari's plants along with my plant. Okay guys, here is today's weather page. It is really loud. Okay, so today is
Wednesday.
It is still
March.
And it is
25th.
So it is March 25th, 2020, guys.
Choose the weather. Rainy.
It is definitely rainy off and on all day long.
Cool.
It is definitely cool. Some might even call it cold if you're me. Let's dress this guy today.
Bottoms.
Let's give him some jeans today.
Bottoms.
I already did that, sorry.
Tops.
Let's give him a nice flannel shirt.
Shoes.
Let's see here. Let's give him some tennis shoes.
Rain boots.
Maybe some rain boots if he decides to walk outside. Hats. Let's give him a rain hat. Looks like a farmer.
Accessories.
I don't think
no accessory.
He doesn't need accessories today.
Outerwear. Raincoat.
Okay, so this is what our guy's going to be wearing today because the weather is rainy and cool. Hi, it is Mrs. Bowser. I am going to be your weather person today. Today's weather is going to be rainy with a high of about 48 degrees. Tomorrow is going to be partly cloudy and a high of 61 degrees, so get outside because it's probably going to be one of the nicest days of the week, unfortunately. Wednesday, 72 degrees and mostly cloudy, which means it might rain, it might not. So again, 72 is pretty close to my favorite temperature, so get outside if you can. Then we have Thursday, rain, only a high of 57, so a little bit chilly. And then on Sunday we could actually have some thunderstorms, but it's going to be warm, 75 degrees. So that is your weather for the next few days. Hi, it is... Okay guys, I am on the Maryland Independent and I wanted to share with you some of our local news. Here, this one is called Charles County Restaurants Take Precautions Amid Pandemic. So the pandemic is this coronavirus that is can spread pretty easily from person to person. If that person has it, they can spread it very easily. So restaurants had to close in pretty much all of America. Restaurants are closed. You cannot order something and sit down and eat it, but you can take out their food. So a lot of them are still open. You just either have them deliver it to you or you can go to the restaurant yourself and pick it up. So this is Mrs. Bowser's, one of her favorite local restaurants. It's Little Toteca. It's one of our local Mexican restaurants, and as you can see on the sign it says they are open for carryout. And carryout, if you can remember, is when you order, pull up, go inside, grab it, and out you go. Okay. And then this is the Green Turtle. The Green Turtle also is in La Plata, and they are doing the same thing. And the article just talks about how these food businesses must find a way to continue. One of these is by delivering food, offering takeout, and doing drive-through services. Because the spread of the germs is very high, social distancing, especially eating at restaurants, is almost impossible. So some restaurants, including the Charles in La Plata, had to shut down completely. So some restaurants are staying open, some are not at this time. So if you can, go ahead and support your local restaurants and get some takeout and enjoy some food at home. Okay, here are the comics for the last 2 days. The first Garfield comic is from yesterday, and John is saying, live, laugh, love. And John says, words to live by, Garfield. Garfield says, for you maybe. I prefer eat, sleep, and repeat. I like that philosophy. Garfield, I agree. Okay, today's comic strip, is at the bottom, and it's Garfield just standing there, and he says, cats can sense when trouble is coming. And he has this kind of smirk on his face. Uh-oh. And he's pointing to himself and he says, and here comes some now. What do you think Garfield is going to do to poor Odie? Here is Spider-Man comics from yesterday and today. So Tuesday's comic says, who is the woman who carried off young Forrest? Forrest is that boy that was sick. And MJ says, she said she was a doctor, so I figured he's better off in her hands than in yours. And so Namor goes, I doubt she can cure the boy, but now I must attend to the reason I came to this city. Today's comic. Looks like there's police officers. It says, are my eyes playing tricks on me? If they are, whatever you got is catching, because I see the same thing. And there's Namor saying, the submariner has no time to waste on lackeys. Those just like aren't important people. And he says, I am here to address your United Nations. Okay guys, we're going to be reading the news to you.
2020 Census. The U.S. will have a census in 2020. The U.S. has a census every 10 years. A census counts every person living in an area. The 2020 census will count every person in the U.S. A U.S. government group does the census. This group is called the Census Bureau. The Census Bureau uses the census to gather information. The information is about people in the U.S. The U.S. government uses the information. The information helps the government make decisions. Some decisions are about money. The government decides how much money to give to states. States use the money to build schools, hospitals, roads, and more. How does the Census Bureau do a census? The Census Bureau sends census forms in March. They send a form to every home in the U.S. Each form has a list of questions. The questions are about the people living in the home.
We received our census invitation a couple weeks ago, and then they sent us another reminder, and I believe you just fill it out online and you're done within minutes.
One question asks how many people live in the home. Other questions ask for each person's name, birthday, and age. Everyone must answer the questions for the census. The census is a part of U.S. law. People can answer the questions by mail, online, or by phone. Workers from the Census Bureau may visit some homes. The workers ask questions. The workers count people living in the homes. The U.S. will have a census in 2020. The census will count every person living in the U.S. The census will count you, your family, your friends, your teachers, and more. How many people do you think live in the U.S.? People in the news. Census Bureau. The Census Bureau is a U.S. government group. The Census Bureau gathers and shares information. The information is about people in the U.S. The Census Bureau started in 1902. Their headquarters is in Suitland, Maryland.
Which is not too far from us, guys.
Place in the news. U.S. The census counts every person in the U.S. The U.S. has more than 300 million people. These people live in states across the U.S. The U.S. has 50 states. The U.S. became a country in 1776.
Okay, here is a recipe if you feel like you'd like to make it. It might have stuff that's in your house, or you might have to have your parents run to the store, but it's called Count the Layers Cup, and it's yogurt, peaches, and some granola, and it seems like a simple, delicious recipe. Here is a knock knock joke.
Joke page. Knock, knock. Who's there? School. School who? School to be counted. It's cool.
That's what it's supposed to be. School to be counted. It is cool to be counted instead of school. Haha. Here's another joke.
Joke page.
This is a good one.
I have a joke. Tell me. Why was 6 afraid of 7? I don't know. Why? Because 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9.
Haha. Okay, and I didn't mean to include these, but I will be sending you guys the documents to do this on your own, and it might be a good idea if I at least have the questions read. So the first thing in your packet will be the game page. So you're going to choose the pictures about
Choose
the 2000.
the pictures about 2020 census.
Okay. The next page is our review page, so you're going to answer questions about what's the paper about, who does the census, where does the census count every person, what does the Census Bureau gather, what counts every person living in the United States, and what does the census want to know about each person. You have your puzzle page with some vocabulary words. You have Sudoku page that you can cut out. Here is the think page. Answer the questions as best as you can. You can just, parents, if you're helping your student out, you can see if they can write it themselves. You could write it for them, or you can just have them verbally give you the answer. And then these are the 4 vocabulary words: census, every, count, and person. And that is going to conclude our reading part. You can use this part of the YouTube video to go back and find answers if you need to, or you can just use the Google Docs document that I send that's called Story. Okay.
Ever since I was little, I've known it's important to count the right number. Like the number of scoops I got in my ice cream cone. Hey, I asked for 5. Or the number of coins in my piggy bank. I remember this one time in class. Our teacher, Mr. Knorr, came in with a surprise for us. It was his birthday, so he brought cupcakes for everyone. But there was a problem. He had 15 cupcakes, and there were 20 of us in class. Mr. Knorr should have counted more carefully when he was taking attendance. Counting is also really important for the U.S. Census Bureau. In the spring of 2020, it will count every person who lives in the United States. They call this count the 2020 census. It's just like when your teacher takes attendance in class, except it's for the whole country. For the 2020 census, the Census Bureau needs every person to tell the country they are here, in every home, in every neighborhood, in every state, on every U.S. island territory. Everywhere. Tell the adults in your home to make sure they count everyone who lives with you. That includes grandparents, uncles and aunts, cousins, even people who aren't related to you who live with you. Make sure they count every kid, even babies who are 1 day old. Make sure they count you too, but not the cat. It's really important to count everyone. Why? Because a correct count for the 2020 census helps the government figure out what your community needs. That can mean more schools, teachers, classroom computers, or after-school activities and programs. It can also mean more help for things like parks and playgrounds, housing, roads, hospitals, and so much more. The 2020 census starts in the spring, and April 1st is Census Day. Ask your grown-up in your home to circle April 1st on the calendar as a reminder to complete the census. Help us make sure we get the right count. Then we can all celebrate! Tell all of the adults in your home to make sure you're counted in the 2020 census. Learn more at 2020census.gov.
Okay guys, here is the next Dollar Up activity for today. Remember, we're only going to be looking at the dollar amount, so before the decimal point. We don't really care how many cents are in this amount. So if we're going to look at $2.76, if you need to, you can look at this little chart up here. 2, what comes after 2? 3. So this answer is 3. Then we have $0.05. What is the next Dollar Up amount? If you said 1, you would be correct. Okay, then let's look at the next one. We have $1.57. The next dollar up is, if you said $2, you were correct because 1, 2 is the next dollar up. $1.63. Take a couple seconds to figure that one out. If you said $2 again, you were correct. Here's another one, $1.75. What is the next dollar up? If you said 2 again, you were correct. And the last one, $0.22. What is the next dollar up? If you said $1, you were correct. Good job, guys. Give yourselves a thumbs up. Again, I just wanted to say how much I miss you guys. Thank you for watching this video. After I publish this video, I will send the link to Google Docs where your parents can get the worksheets for the News to You census. Again, I just wanted to say how much I miss you guys. Thank you for watching this video. After I publish this video, I will send the link to Google Docs where your parents can get the worksheets for the News to You census story. And like I said,